Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Earlham College here at Matlock Messer Stadium here on Saturday morning for the first game of our doubleheader between the Earlham Quakers and the Rose Hulman Institute of Technology Fighting Engineers. We got an exciting matchup for you in today's game between team tied for first place with coming in with a 301 ACAC record, 8-4-1 overall, and then Earlham coming in 7-6, having dropped four straight, and 0-4 in the ACAC coming in to today's matchup. Today against Rose Holman, after today there are 4 games remaining in the ACAC, so now we are in critical time for the Quakers if there's any shot to make the playoffs in the conference tournament. Rose Holman, again, tied for first place, one of the better teams in the conference. Earlham, their 0-4 ACAC record doesn't state how they have played in the ACAC. We'll get into statistics in just a few moments, talking about their last game at Bluffton, and then also statistics between Rose Holman and their last game, and also their games going out in the ACAC. Again, exciting day for Earlham College, alumni weekend, homecoming, everybody out to watch the game. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have statistics, starting lineups for each of the teams, and then we'll be set to get the game underway between the Quakers and the Engineers.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you're born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Welcome back to Matlock Messer Stadium. Again, about under 7 minutes before we get the start of the Quakers and the Engineers' first game of our doubleheader. As at the conclusion of this game, our men's team will be taking on the Fighting Engineers as well. We're going to go into the statistics for each of the team. We're going to start off with Rose Holman. As I mentioned, they come in with an 8-4-1 record, 3-0-1 in conference play, tied for first place. And again, throughout the game, we're going to give you updates on what's going on in the ACAC, games going on today, and also standings and what it could mean for a potential playoff future. Rose Holman, actually, they are not tied for first place. They are in sole first place. Hanover trails 3-1 along with Franklin. But Rose Holman first place after their last game against Hanover, where they won in double overtime 3-2. And then they beat Defiance 4-0, and the tie with Mount St. Joe 2-2, and then they beat Bluffton 3-0. Taking a look at more of the statistics for Rose Holman coming in to the matchup with their stats. In 13 games, they put up 28 goals on 224 shots on a 125 shooting percentage, averaging 17.2 shots a game, with a 603 shot on goal percentage, 48 corner kicks, 2 yellow cards. And then looking at their conference, just in 79 shots have put up 12 goals, a 152 shooting percentage, averaging 19.8 shots a game, 49 shots on goal, 8 assists, and 14 corner kicks. Going into the starting lineups for the Engineers, at goalkeeper number 0, Katie Demir, number 3, Christina Rogers, number 5, Kristen East, number 6, Jessica Wells, number 7, Lane Lawrence, number 8, Maddie Tweeton, number 17, El Vato, number 18, Sarah Shoemaker, number 21, Grace Hobson, and number 23, Veronica Gawarski. And rounding out the starting lineups for the Engineers, number 27, Ellie McCollum Smith. Now going to your starting lineups for the Quakers. We will give you stats of the Quakers when we come back from break. But starting for the Quakers, 00 Mel Johnson at goalkeeper, freshman out of Indianapolis. Then we got number 2, Aaron Welsh. Number 6, Kaylee Hall. Number 8, Nicole Burkett. Number 13, Yuli Spade. Number 14, Tess Cunningham. Number 16, Jennifer Duyer. Number 17, Jordan Blackburn. Number 20, Haley Beal. Number 23, Raven McCree. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Quakers will be number 26, Eva Lyon. So those are your starting lineups for each team. As I mentioned, when we throughout the game, we will have the season statistics for the Quakers and also ACAC statistics. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will have the start of the game for you on Wesley Bates Wealth Management Scoreboard. We will be right back.
Since 1994, Beach Automotive has provided motorists in the Richmond area with the most comprehensive auto repair services that include general services, car and truck care, alignment, brakes, tires, engine, transmission, and more. Their goal is simple: to offer the best services available at affordable prices to get you back on the road in no time. For a high-performance vehicle, trust Beach Automotive. To learn more, give them a call at 765-966-8181. Beach Automotive, 110 East Main Street, Richmond.
We check 'em better. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle is fully inspected and reconditioned by ASE and factory trained technicians. And each Better Buy vehicle comes with a Carfax vehicle history report, so you know you can buy a vehicle with confidence. We back 'em better with a 3-day satisfaction guarantee. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified comes with a 3-day or 300-mile satisfaction guarantee. If you don't like it within that 3 days or 300 miles, just bring it back and we'll exchange it for a vehicle of equal value. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. We price them better. We have dedicated individuals searching the entire country for the highest quality, lowest price vehicles for our inventory. In today's competitive market, we're constantly monitoring vehicle values to ensure that we're offering the best prices possible. We guarantee that every Wetzel Better Buy vehicle is the highest quality used car or truck around. Our reconditioning process guarantees that you are getting a vehicle as close to brand new as possible, and our warranties back that up.
Welcome back to Matlock Messer Stadium. All right, both teams taking the field. We are set to get the game between the Engineers and the Quakers underway. Again, this is game one of our doubleheader. At the conclusion of this game, our men's team will be taking on the Engineers as well. We'll be giving you updates throughout the ACAC. Again, Rose Hulman comes in tied for first with Anderson, 301, and Earlham tied for last with Defiance and Manchester at 0-4. And as I said earlier, Earlham's 0-4 ACAC record doesn't state how they've played. They've had opportunities to win ACAC games. You know, Mount St. Joe was 0-0 at halftime. Then they ended up losing that 2-0. Transylvania, they lost 2-1 in double overtime. They had their chance in the first overtime to put it away, but they couldn't get – they missed the shot. And then Hanover, they lost that 1-0. And then Bluffton, they lost 2-1. They took 33 shots in that game and only made one. And that is the biggest struggle of the Quakers this season is shooting accuracy. They've taken a lot of shots on the season, but have a tough time finding the net. So we'll see if they can do a better job of that today. Rose Hulman will start off the game with possession. Game is underway. Rose Hulman will start it off, and they will pass it back to their defenders, number 5, Christian East. Again, Earlham looking to put more pressure on the Engineers goalkeeper. They do take a lot of shots, averaging a lot of shots per game. It's just a matter of time of getting more accuracy. And already in the 18, Rose Hulman threatening. Pass it back to number 8, Maddie Tweeton, and the deflection off of Mel Johnson. So a nice save from Johnson, as she's already put to work early in the first 40 seconds of the matchup. It did go out of bounds, so a corner kick for Rose Hulman coming up. We have a quick corner kick starting off. The corner kick for Rose Hulman, Sarah Shoemaker, sophomore out of Chesterfield, Missouri. Her corner kick bounces off Haley Beal. Shoemaker's pass The shot from number 17, Ellie Votto, sails far left, and the first goal kick of the game for Mel Johnson coming up. It feels good, but we can see that through the reflection of the mirror. Haley Beal comes up with possession inside Earlham's 18. Out of bounds off of the Engineers, so another goal kick coming up from Mel Johnson. Mel Johnson, freshman out of Indianapolis, Indiana, out of Warren Central High School. She's been the primary goalkeeper for the Quakers. Short goal kick. Haley Beal will try to pass off Yuli Spade, but Engineers in the 18, but kicked out by Kaylee Hall. Right to number 3, Christina Rogers. So Rose Hulman spending a lot of time on the Quakers side of the field. And what we've seen in the past is when one team spends majority of the time on the other's side of the field, more success comes out from that. Out of bounds, throw in coming up for the Quakers. In a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Eva Lyon will pass it up ahead to Nicole Burkett. Rose Holman threatening, kicked out, trying to be kicked out off Kaylee Hall, but it bounces off the Engineers. And the shot from number 7, Lane Lawrence, right to Mel Johnson. So another save from Johnson. Great kick, bounces off the head of Burkett. And it will roll back to the Engineers' defense. Kicked out of bounds by number 8, Maddie Tweeton. Throw in coming up for the Quakers. Welsh will throw it off of Burkett. And now dribbling for the Engineers, Lawrence. Pass up ahead to Wells. Entering the 18, the Engineers. And kicked out of bounds off of Haley Beal. So another corner kick coming up for the Engineers. Off the head of number 17, Votto, and it will sail out of bounds. Another goal kick coming up for the Quakers. Giving you the stats for the Quakers. In 13 games, they've put up 31 goals on 225 shots. They're averaging 17.3 shots a game coming into the matchup. 127 shots on the goal with the shot percentage of 138. Again, Engineers threatening. Votto trying to get by Welsh. Goes out of bounds off of Votto, and a goal kick coming up for Earlham. Earlham in conference, 55 shots and only 2 goals scored. Shot percentage of 0.36, and that is their biggest deficiency so far of the season that has been hurting them. The shot from number 6, Wells, saved by Johnson. Johnson has been put to work by the Engineers in the first 5 minutes of the game. Earlham's going to have to do a better job of putting pressure on the Engineers defense. 39 minutes remaining in the first half. Haley Beal will pass up ahead to Spade. Goes out of bounds off of East, and a throw in for the Quakers coming up. In homecoming weekend, a lot of alumni in the stands for the Quakers. Possession now for the Quakers. Cunningham trying to get by Rogers, but Rogers was able to get the steal. Kaylee Hall will kick it out of bounds. A throw in coming up for the Engineers. I can grab it. Yes, sir. The pass back from the Engineers. And Engineers coming in averaging over 19, almost 20 shots a game in conference. And they've already taken about 4 or 5 shots in opening 5 minutes. And again, for those watching, if you want to follow the live stats, go to goearlham.com. Rose Hulman already with 6 shots in the first 8 minutes of the game. Goal kick from Mel Johnson. Relatively short, bounces off of Tweeton. Ball will sail out of bounds. Another goal kick coming up from Mel Johnson. Johnson, getting the primary goalkeeper on the season for the Quakers. Started off conference, it was Becca Hancock after recovering from her injury, but she retweaked an injury, so she's recovering from that. Kicked out of bounds off of Cunningham, so a throw in at midfield coming up for the Engineers. Kaylee Hall trying to get the possession from Wells. Jennifer Dewyer trying to pass it up to Lyon. Goes out of bounds off the Engineers. Throw in coming up for the Quakers. Dewyer's throwing, trying to go to Lyon, but sails over Lyon and right to Rogers. At the midfield line, Cunningham. Beal will pass back to McCree. McCree trying to find Blackburn, but bounces right to Kristen East. Kicked out of bounds by McCree. A throw-in coming up for the Quakers. Sorry, the Engineers. Off of Wells. Kicked out by Kaylee Hall. Cunningham trying to find Hall. Hall will go over to Dewyer. 35-25 remaining in the first half. And Rose Hulman's goalkeeper, DeMert, will pass it up to her defender, McCollum Smith. Ball on the Engineer side of the field. Rose Hulman does have control of the possession. East up ahead, trying to find Votto, but Aaron Wells slides in and takes possession. Burkett not able to handle the pass, and it goes right back to Rose Hulman. Kicked out by McCree. Throw in coming up for Rose Hulman. Off of Beal, another throw in coming up for the Engineers. Just past the midfield line, goes out of bounds. Referee says it was off the Quakers, so Engineers throw in. Off the head of Wells. Lawrence trying to pass up to Wells. Haley Beal kicks it out of bounds. Throw in for the Engineers coming up. 33-50 remaining in the first half. Off of McCollum Smith. Eva Lyon comes up with the possession for the Quakers and will pass back to Cunningham. Cunningham trying to find Dewyer. Foot race between Dewyer and Rogers. Both collide with each other. No foul on the play. Ball does stay in bounds. And actually there was a whistle on the play. Call goes against the Quakers. So our first foul of the day. Free kick coming up for the Engineers. Giving you an update on the schedule for the ACAC. As Mount St. Joe is at Manchester, Franklin at Anderson, Transylvania at Defiance, and Hanover at Bluffton. All games have been underway, and all games are currently at a 0-0 score. Welsh up to Yulee Spade. Earlham trying to threaten the score, but Spade ends up kicking it out of bounds, and a goal kick coming up for the Engineers. Rose Hulman, a very well-disciplined team. Hulman hasn't lost a game in almost a month. Their last time Rose Hulman lost a game was the 21st of September. They've had 5 wins and 1 tie since that last loss. So we'll see if Earlham can cool down the Engineers. The pass up ahead to Blackburn. Blackburn trying to run it down, and she does, trying to get by number 21, Hobson. The pass up to Burkett. Burkett will pass back to Beal and bounces off Beal, but she ends up getting it back and passes it out to Dewyer. Beal back to Dewyer. Dewyer pass goes a little far for Blackburn. Rolls home and regains possession, and up ahead they come. Lawrence dribbling, has space in front of her. Now on the Quakers side of the field. Was trying to go up to Wells. Wells ended up cutting in, and ball rolls all the way to the goalkeeper, Johnson. Johnson's kick high. Bounces on the Engineer side of the field. Ran down by Rogers. Cunningham now with possession. But McCollum Smith gets it back for the Engineers. Wells dribbling now for Rose Holman, trying to get by Hall, and she does. The pass up ahead to Lawrence. Lawrence and Beal in a foot race. Lawrence ends up winning the foot race. The pass up ahead to Wells. Back to number 17. Oh, the shot from number 17, Votto, ended up not going to the goal, but across the goal. It looked like she was trying to pass it rather than shoot it. Either way, Rose Holman still with possession, but now Dewyer ends up taking it away and dribbling up ahead. Goes off of Holman, and a throw in near the midfield line coming up for the Quakers. Don't understand that last possession from the Engineers. Votto had a clear shot at the goal, and it looked like she tried to pass it one more time. Blackburn trying to pass it back. Lawrence up to Wells. Foot race with McCree in the 18. The shot from Wells bounces off McCree right to Yulee Spade. Nice defensive stand by Raven McCree. Yulee Spade trying to find Burkett. Sails past her and rolls to the goalkeeper, Katie DeMert. Ball at the midfield line. Kicked out by number 21, Hobson. And kicked out by McCree as she just beat Lawrence to the ball. So a throw in for the Engineers coming up. Haley Beal will pass it back to Welsh. McCollum Smith will pass to her defender, Rogers. Rogers now dribbling through a couple of Quakers. But the pass right to Kaylee Hall. Ball at the midfield line. Engineers still with possession. We're at 28-15 remaining in the first half. Raven McCree will pass to Welsh. Lyon now dribbling. And will kick it up ahead. Now Blackburn in a foot race with Rogers. And Rogers will kick it out of bounds, so a throw-in coming up for the Quakers. Looking at the live stats, the Quakers still looking for their first shot of the matchup. Mel Johnson already has 3 saves. Lawrence up ahead, but kicks it right to Kaylee Hall. Dribbling Rose Hulman off of Dewyer. Raven McCree will pass it up ahead to Kaylee Hall. Each team still trying to find a rhythm. Up ahead to Lawrence in the 18, trying to get by Beal. The shot from Lawrence off of Johnson, and Welsh beats McCollum Smith to the ball. McCollum Smith, actually that was Vato. If Welsh didn't beat Vato, Vato would have had the goal for the Engineers. So great hustle by Welsh, good save by Johnson. Raven McCree will kick it out of bounds. A throw-in for the Engineers coming up. The pass in the 18, right to McCree. McCree will kick it out once again. Hobson passes it up ahead to number 23, Gawarski. Wells in the 18 off of Lawrence. No foul on the play. Yuli Spade out to Dewyer. The shot from Wells is picked up by Mel Johnson. And the Quakers hold the Engineers from scoring. We're under 26 minutes in the first half. Hobson off to Rogers. Again, big game for the Quakers. Still looking for their first ACAC win. And including this game, have 5 games remaining in conference. So they're going to need help. But starting off by winning against Rose, and they're going to have to win out through the ACAC to have a chance of making the conference tournament. Votto up ahead to Lawrence. Lawrence's pass was looking for Christian East. It sails out of bounds, so a throw in for Aaron Welsh. Lawrence is able to get by McCree. Wells trying to get by Hall. She will take the shot. And Mel Johnson is able to make the scoop for another save. Mel Johnson doing a great job as goalkeeper for the Quakers. Rose Hulman getting a lot of shots off, while Earlham still looking for their first one. (24-15) remaining in the first half. Ball is kicked out of bounds off of Rose Hulman. Throw-in coming up for the Quakers. Few substitutions. Number 12, Yana Miller. Number 3, Jenna Hay coming in for Nicole Burkett and Eva Lyon. The throw-in coming up for Jennifer Dewyer. But it bounced right to McCollum Smith over the head of Hall. Ball bounces in the midfield circle. Wells dribbling. She was trying to find one of her teammates, but Kaylee Hall intercepted the pass. Jaworski trying to go to Wells, but Tess Cunningham was there for the Quakers. Up to Jenna Hay. Is that Jenna Hay or Grace? I thought it was her. East. Trying to go to Lawrence, but Raven McCree is there and passes it out to Blackburn. The pass up ahead. Ran down by Hobson. Trying to box out Yana Miller. Blackburn in the corner. Ball kicked out of bounds off of Rose Hulman. Aaron Welsh will throw it in. In the 18. Kicked out by McCollum Smith to East. Up to Votto. Still in the corner. Blackburn back to Welsh. Welsh's pass to Grace Manning. Manning in the 18. She will take the shot. And it sails far left and out of bounds. A goal kick coming up for Rose Hulman. Rose will have a substitution. Number 13, Waverly Clark, will come in for number 18, Sarah Shoemaker. So that was Rose Holman's first substitution of the game. Kaylee Hall trying to get possession from the Engineers. McCollum Smith back to her defender Rogers. We're approaching 20 minutes remaining in the first half. Blackburn dribbling for the Quakers. Off of Cunningham, but she is able to get possession back. Jennifer Dewyer trying to get by, not able to. Number 13, Clark, is able to get possession for the Engineers. Vato up to Wells. Ran down by Dewyer, and she'll pass it back to her goalkeeper, Johnson. We'll pass it right back to Dewyer. Grace Manning up ahead to Yana Miller. Back to East for the Engineers. Cut in front of by Cunningham. Yulie Spade up ahead to Cunningham. Ends up going behind her, and it will roll all the way to Rose Holman's goalkeeper, Katie DeMert Jr. out of Cary, Illinois. Rogers now dribbling. We'll pass it up to Jaworski. So looking at some of the stats for Rose, their leading scorer on the season is number 6, Jessica Wells, with 7 goals on the year. DeMert will come out and retrieve the ball for Rose. Kicked out by McCree. Lawrence and Beal in a foot race ends up going out of bounds. Corner kick coming up for Rose. Substitution for Rose, number 4. Number 4, Mariah Mofich coming in for number 7, Lane Lawrence. Again, corner kick coming up for the Quakers. Looks like number 23, Gaworski, will have the corner kick for Rose. Knocked out by Johnson. Back to Gaworski. Gaworski's pass off of McCree, but right to McCollum Smith. Kicked out by Cunningham. Ball goes out of bounds off the Quaker, so another corner kick for Rose coming up. Gaworski will once again have the corner kick. Gaworski's corner kick off of Votto. Back out to Gaworski. And the shot from Wells goes over the goal, and a goal kick coming up for the Quakers. Wells, good look for the Engineers. As I said, Wells leading scorer for Rose with 7 goals on the year. Rose has a pretty balanced scoring. 7 for Wells, 5 for Sheeran, 3 from Lawrence, 3 from Ogden. Cunningham now will pass up to Spade. And Earlham still looking for their first shot of the game. Shot on goal. They have one on the stats, but they don't have a shot on goal. But you look at Rose Hulman, 11 shots in the game, 6 of them on goal. And Mel Johnson doing a great job, 6 saves in the game so far. Rose has had 3 corner kicks. Kicked out by Hall, throw in coming up for the Engineers. And giving you a quick update right now going on simultaneously. Our Earlham's volleyball team taking on Manchester. They're up 1-0 in the second set of that game. Also being broadcasted on Radio Troy. Up ahead off of Votto. Back out to East. Up ahead to Mofich. Entering the 18, Ogden. Entering the 18, off of Hall, the shot from Tweeton. Wells' shot goes far left and out of bounds, and a goal kick coming up for Johnson. Cunningham will pass up to Dewyer. We're at 14 minutes remaining in the first half, and I would say an estimate about 25 minutes in the first half have been spent on Earlham's side of the field. Rose Hulman doing a good job of keeping possession on Earlham's side. Ball was kicked out of bounds, so a corner kick coming up for Rose Hulman. Jaworski will have the corner kick for the Engineers. Her corner kick off of Cunningham and kicked out by Blackburn all the way to the midfield line. Ran down by Rogers. Rogers up to Jaworski. Dewey now will pass up to Cunningham. Grace Manning. This pass goes right to East, up to Votto. She finds Wells. And a whistle blown, foul called on Aaron Welsh. A free kick coming up for Rose Hulman. Number 3, Christina Rogers will have the free kick for the Engineers. The pass off the head of Beal. And the shot from Rogers sails high and just over the goal and out of bounds. A goal kick for Johnson coming up. Ogden. This pass goes off of Hall. Right to Votto. Bounces off McCree, and McCree will kick it out of the 18. Off the head of East, but right to Yana Miller. McCollum Smith. Up to Ogden. Ogden's pass to Mofich. Mufich, sorry. Saved by Johnson. Johnson's kick bounces in the midfield circle off the head of Miller. Right to Grace Manning. Yuli Spade up to Miller. Yana Miller passes to Aaron Welsh. Welsh's pass goes off the head of Rogers and right to Gorski. Kicked out by Mufich. But a foul called on Rose. Free kick coming up for the Quakers. We're approaching 10 minutes remaining in the first half. The free kick from Yana Miller will bounce straight to the goalkeeper, Demert. And she'll make the grab for the Engineers. Off the head of Cunningham. Blackburn ends up getting through a couple of Rose Hulman defenders, but East will pass it up to Jaworski. Off the head of Cunningham. Earlham trying to get on the board. East comes up with possession for Rose. And we'll pass it out to Ogden. Ogden dribbling, looking for Wells. Cut off by Haley Beal. Jennifer Dewey will run it down. Ball is on the Earlham side of the field. Ogden dribbling for Rose. Will pass to Mufich. Votto will pass back to Ogden. Rose is approaching the 18. The pass inside to Wells. Gives by McCree. The shot from Wells is a beautiful save by Mel Johnson. Diving save by Johnson. Absolutely beautiful save by Johnson. Votto trying to find Wells. Johnson comes out and makes the grab for the Quakers. So still a scoreless game as 8:20 remaining in the first half. Johnson with 8 saves so far in the first half. Out of bounds off of Rose. Few subs coming in for the Quakers. Number 24, Emma, and number 3, Jenna Hay coming in for Grace Manning. Number 24, Emma Bassard checking in for Yana Miller.
And for the Quakers, number 24, Emma Bassard, and number 3, Jenna Hay.
Off of Bassard. Cunningham dribbling. Trying to get by McCollum Smith, and she does. But a whistle blown on the play, and the foul goes against Cunningham. And the crowd clearly did not agree with that call. Julie Spade up ahead to Bassard. Ball kicked out of bounds. Throw in for Earlham coming up. Aaron Welsh will throw it in. Votto up to Wells. Wells dribbling, trying to get by Welsh. Raven McCree will pass back to Welsh. Christian East trying to find Move Fitch, but Tess Cunningham steps in front of it. Gaworski dribbling for the Engineers. Trying to find Wells, but stepped in front of by Kaylee Hall. Gaworski passes to Wells. Haley Beal there as Raven McCree will kick it out to the 18. And the shot from McCollum Smith sails far right and out of bounds. Goal kick for Mel Johnson coming up. Substitution for Rose as number 2, Maggie Sheeran, comes in for number 6, Jessica Wells. Kick from Mel Johnson short. Bounces off Ogden. Aaron Welsh will kick it away from the 18. Spade and East in a foot race. Ran down by Christian East and kicked out of bounds by Welsh. Throw in for the Engineers coming up. We are under 5 minutes remaining in this first half. Throw in from East. Bounces over Beal, but kicked out by McCree. Gaworski trying to pass up ahead, bounces off McCree. Gaworski up ahead, but right to McCree. Julie Spades pass, but nobody there for the Quakers, so easily ran down by East. Up ahead to Sheeran. Kicked out by Kaylee Hall. Under 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Still no score. Ran down by Kaylee Hall. And ball kicked out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for the Quakers. Give you an update on what's going on in the ACAC. As with 11 minutes in the first half, Mount St. Joe leads Manchester 4-0. Transylvania leads Defiance 3-0 with 9 minutes remaining in the first half. And Hanover leads Bluffton 1-0 with 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Kicked out by Johnson. Pretty far kick, bounces on Rose Holman side of the field. Rose Holman dribbling up ahead off of Tweeton. Pass up ahead. Johnson and Sheeran in a foot race, and Johnson comes up with it for the Quakers. Off the head of Cunningham. Over to East. She passes it up ahead to Votto. Out of bounds off the Quakers. So a throw in for Rose coming up. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Yulee Spade will just kick it up ahead away from Earlham's territory. Ran down by Hobson. Sheeran. His pass is kicked out by McCree. Minute and a half remaining in the first half. Out of bounds. Saved from going out of bounds, but it goes out of bounds off of Rose. Throw-in for the Quakers. Dewey's throw-in off of Cunningham. Kicked out by Rose again. So another throw-in coming up. Actually, the referee says it's off of the Quakers. And a throw-in for Rose. Sharon will pass it up to McCollum Smith. Mufich has it taken away by Beal. Up to Bissard. Up ahead to Ogden. We're at 30 seconds remaining in the first half. McCree will kick it out of bounds. Throw in for Rose coming up. Over Kaylee Hall, but once again kicked out by McCree. Out of bounds. Throw in for the Quakers. And after the throw-in, that should be the end of the first half as we're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is going to do it for the first half. A scoreless game as the Quakers and the Engineers go into the half tied 0-0. 15 minutes on the clock. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have the first half stats, what to expect in the second half, and we'll also stream the halftime show for you. We're going to take a quick break on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management Scoreboard. We'll be right back.
Big Boys Pizza is now open in Richmond, located at 1015 East Main Street, next door to the Civic Theater. The menu has great sandwiches, pasta, salads, and of course, pizza. Come dine in, carry out, or have your food delivered day or night, at home or at the office. Other locations are in Connorsville and Brookville. Bring in a sports ticket after any game and receive 10% off your purchase. Ticket must be dated for the same day as your purchase. Dine in, take out, or delivery, Big Boys Pizza. 765-488-0023. Kate's Cages is the #1 indoor training facility for baseball and softball in Richmond by far. With top flight instructors, you will learn how to play the game the right way. Everything from pitching, hitting, catching, and fielding. Kate's Cages will also have the opportunity to participate in triple play fall ball, the softball academy, individual and team camps, and individual private workouts. Kate's Cages Baseball and Softball Indoor Training Facility, 1366 Rose City Boulevard. Call 993-2353 for more information.
At First Bank Richmond, we provide you with an excellent banking experience. Whether it's personal checking, savings, mortgage loans, consumer loans, retail lending, or trust and investments, you can count on First Bank Richmond. First Bank Richmond has been serving the Richmond area since 1887. For more information, give them a call at 962-2581 or go to their website at firstbankrichmond.com.
Three, two, one, go!
We check 'em better. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle is fully inspected and reconditioned by ASE and factory trained technicians. And each Better Buy vehicle comes with a Carfax vehicle history report, so you know you can buy a vehicle with confidence. We back 'em better with a 3-day satisfaction guarantee. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified comes with a 3-day or 300-mile satisfaction guarantee. If you don't like it within that 3 days or 300 miles, just bring it back and we'll exchange it for a vehicle of equal value. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. We price them better. We have dedicated individuals searching the entire country for the highest quality, lowest price vehicles for our inventory. In today's competitive market, we're constantly monitoring vehicle values to ensure that we're offering the best prices possible. We guarantee that every Wetzel Better Buy vehicle is the highest quality used car or truck around. Our reconditioning process guarantees that you are getting a vehicle as close to brand new as possible, and our warranties back that up.
Looking for the home of your dreams? This spacious property offers over 4,600 square feet of living space, featuring 5 bedrooms, with 3 full and 1 half bathroom. This property is currently listed for under $270,000. For more information or to schedule a showing, please contact the listing team.
Earlham's about getting involved. We have more than 60 student clubs with new ones starting every year. A variety of sports, plays and concerts, parties, trips to nearby cities. Interesting people from all over the world. Earlham College, always engaged. As Earlhamites, when we set our minds to do something, we see it through.
Because when we strive to do what's right,
We believe ways will open for us.
It's why we design inclusive playgrounds and innovative transportation solutions.
Why we work to solve water crises and pioneer new technology.
why we commit to bridging gaps and exploring the unexpected.
It's why we stay curious.
Why we insist on better answers.
Because at Earlham,
we don't see the world as a project, we see it as our purpose.
And we recognize our own potential in making this earth more beautiful,
more just, and more peaceful for everyone. Earlham College,
always moving forward.
Georgia Direct is your one-stop source for floor coverings and decorating ideas for remodeling a home, office, kitchen, or bathroom. Their showroom offers quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Armstrong, Craft-Made, and many more. They proudly offer Richmond the best quality and variety of home design solutions at competitive prices. At Georgia Direct, their goal is to deliver an outstanding customer experience from selection through installation. Georgia Direct Carpets and Cabinets, 5200 National Road East, Richmond.
Welcome back to Matlock Minister Stadium. We're about 4.5 minutes away from the start of the second half. We're going to go over first half stats with you and what's going on in the ACAC. So taking a look at Rose Hulman, they have 16 shots in the first half, 8 shot on goals, and 5 corner kicks, along with 1 foul. Then looking at the Quakers, only 1 shot in the game so far, no shots on goal. Mel Johnson has 8 saves and 2 fouls committed by the Quakers. Those are your first half stats. taking a look at the rest of the ACAC, what's going on in that first half. Mount St. Joe leads Manchester 4-0. Start of the second half, 3-0 lead for Transylvania over Defiance. And the start of the second half, a 1-0 lead over Hanover over Bluffton. So that's what's going on in the ACAC. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will have the start of the second half for you here on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management Scoreboard. We'll be right back.
After the unexpected, expect us. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance of Fayette, Rush, Union, Decatur, and Shelby counties. Auto, home, life, renters, farm, crop, and business coverage. Coverage you need in a language you know. We take customer satisfaction seriously and don't take a cookie-cutter approach to your coverage. For more information, call 800-723-3276 or go to their website, in.farmbureau.com.
Hey, this is Steve, and out at Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto, in business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians, and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf, and I approve this message.
Hey, if you're looking for a great place to dine, how about Little Sheba's? Come join them in Richmond at 175 Fort Wayne Avenue and grab one of their gourmet pizzas, a deluxe sandwich, steak or fresh salad, and an ice-cold beer or your favorite wine. Featuring live music every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, and more in their smoke-free environment. You can get a 10% discount with a valid student ID. It's better than being home. For more information about Little Sheba's, give them a call at 962-2999. Today's game brought to you in part by Mancino's Pizza and Grinders. Mancino's is family-friendly, serving fresh grinders, pizza, pasta, and salads every day. They serve great food priced for family budgets. Mancino's Italian bread and pizza dough are made from scratch every day, and the baking process may take a little more time, but the end result of freshness and flavor make the real difference in all of Mancino's award-winning products. Mancino's of Richmond. Give them a call at 966-1166 or go to their website, mancinosofrichmond.com. New Vision Sports is a training program that focuses on the training and improvement of the serious-minded athlete, including all ages and skill levels. From creating customized workout plans to providing ongoing motivation and support, New Vision strives to help you achieve your training goals. Their trainers use a variety of effective workout plans based on your specific goals. New Vision Sports, 977-5831, or go to their website, newvisionsports.com. That's New Vision Sports with a Z.
As an internet service provider, Parallax Systems offers reliable residential high-speed internet service and business service. With a fiber backbone reaching over 150 miles, we have created a multifaceted delivery system. Our dark fiber leasing has proved beneficial to public and private sectors alike. Parallax serves Wayne County and surrounding areas. Parallax Systems, when speed matters, a division of Richmond Power and Light.
At the Reed Orthopedic Center, our physicians and support team devote themselves to helping you return to a healthy and active lifestyle. Our expertise includes shoulder, elbow, foot, ankle, hand, wrist, hip, and knee injuries, as well as pain management and rehabilitation, and school athletic training programs and sports medicine. We are committed to providing you with the best possible orthopedic treatment that we can. To request an appointment at the Reed Orthopedic Center, call 765-935-8905.
Welcome back to Matlock Mr. Stadium. We are set to get the second half underway. Again, scoreless game. What we have seen in the past is we've seen in conference, it happened with Mount St. Joe when Earlham went into the half 0-0, but then the opponent comes out strong in the second half and they get the lead and don't ever lose it. So we'll see if Earlham can rewrite that history in today's matchup as Rose Hulman is approaching the 18. Sheeran in the 18, and her pass will be ran down by Votto from going out of bounds. Just outside the 18. Kicked out by Beal. Out of bounds. Throw in for Rose Holman coming up. Out to East. Nice defense from McCree. Gaworski trying to get by Dewyer, and she does. And the pass to Lawrence. The shot kicked out by Johnson, out of bounds. A corner kick coming up for Rose Holman. Corner kick coming up for number 18, Sarah Shoemaker. Out of bounds once again off of the Quakers. Another corner kick coming up for Shoemaker. Shoemaker's corner kick is kicked out by Lyon. Right to East for Rose. Tez Cunningham now dribbling for the Quakers. Up ahead to Burkett. Burkett in the foot race with Hobson. Burkett up ahead, kicked out by Rogers. So a throw in for the Quakers coming up. Yuli Spade. His pass ran down by Dewyer. Dewyer shot is caught by Demert, and first shot on goal for the Quakers in today's matchup. I like the aggressiveness by Dewyer. Normally you don't see Dewyer taking shots for the Quakers. Off of Hall. Sheeran's pass up ahead to Wells. Wells trying to beat Johnson to it, but Johnson's able to come out and make the grab for the Quakers. Spade off of Beal. Kicked out by Welsh. Ball is now on the Quakers side of the field. Remember, at halftime, each team switch sides. Votto trying to find Wells. Good pass. But great defense by McCree as she's able to get it away from the 18. Jennifer Dewyer trying to pass it out. Ball is kicked out of bounds off of Rose, and a throw-in for the Quakers coming up. Back to Kaylee Hall. Out of bounds off of Rose. Another throw-in for the Quakers coming up. Jennifer Dewyer up to Spade. Taken away by Sheeran. Wells in the corner with Kaylee Hall. Still in bounds. Wells trying to out of bounds. Throw in for Rose as it didn't go for a corner kick yet. So a throw in for Rose off of Lawrence. Saved by Haley Beal. A nice save by Beal. Prevents a corner kick for Rose. Deep in the corner. Wells' pass taken off by Beal, but Lawrence is there for Rose. Ball still in play. The pass up to Votto, saved by Mill as it bounced off of Votto and McCree and was headed towards the goal, but Johnson makes the grab before it gets in the net. And quick update, our Earlham's volleyball team swept Manchester 3-0. Now ball on Rose Hulman's side of the field. McCollum Smith passes it back to Gorski. Gorski up ahead to Wells. Wells ran it down before it goes out of bounds. A nice pass from Gorski. Wells trying to get by Hall. Wells will pass to Shoemaker, but Dewyer is there for the Quakers. Ball once again deep in the corner. Off of Beal. Still in play. Kicked out of bounds. A throw in coming up for Rose Hulman. In the 18, the shot from Wells off of McCree. High in the sky. Still in the 18. Ball on the floor. Kicked out by Aaron Welsh. Nice play from Welsh. Earlham's defense has been doing a great job of keeping Rose out of the net. Mel Johnson will come out and make the grab for the Quakers. 38 minutes remaining in this second half. Nice kick from Johnson off the head of Lyon. Sheeran will pass to Gaworski at the midfield line. Mel Johnson will come out and make the grab for the Quakers. Tess Cunningham passing it to Lyon. Lyon trying to find Blackburn, but deflected off of Rogers. Aaron Welsh will pass to Spade. Spade's pass deflected and taken away by Shoemaker. Shoemaker up ahead to Welsh, but cut off by Hall. Now Kaylee Hall dribbling for the Quakers. Nice pass to Blackburn, right back to Kaylee Hall, approaching the 18. Kaylee Hall's pass to Lyons, kicked out by Hobson. Right to Sheeran, and now Sheeran up ahead to Wells. And Rose Hulman on the move. Votto pass up ahead to East. East dribbling, trying to get by Welsh. Ball kicked out of bounds. It does go off of the Quakers. A corner kick coming up for the Engineers. And looks like number 23, Veronica Gaworski, will have the corner kick for the Engineers. Corner kick from Gaworski. Off the head of Sheeran and goes over the goal and out of bounds. A goal kick coming up for the Quakers. Cunningham up ahead. Burkett and Hobson in a foot race. Hobson up to East. Haley Beal dribbling for the Quakers. Out of bounds, throwing for Rose Hulman coming up. Wells couldn't get by McCree. McCree's pass off of Cunningham. Blackburn trying to find Lyon, but deflected off of Sheeran. Shoemaker out to McCollum. Smith. Off of Burkett. Sheeran will pass to Shoemaker. Shoemaker up to Gorski in the 18, but ran down by Dewyer. And Dewyer will pass it up ahead to Lyon. But Shoemaker is there for Rose, and her pass goes off of Spade. Still stays inbounds. Ran down by Dewyer. Kicked out of bounds, off of Rose, and a goal kick coming up for Mel Johnson and the Quakers. Goal kick coming up for Johnson. Right to Gorski. Out of bounds. Goal kick for Mel Johnson once again coming up. We're at 32:25 remaining in this second half. Outside the 18, Lawrence falls down. Shoemaker still comes up with it. Stays in bounds. Jennifer Dewyer up to Lyon. Earlham trying to keep Rose Hulman away from the 18. They're doing a good job of keeping them out of the net. Cunningham up to Burkett. Blackburn and Rogers in a foot race, and Rogers will kick it out of bounds. Throw in for Earlham coming up. Gorski tried to save it, but it ended up going out of bounds. Kicked out by Rogers. Will fall off of Lawrence. Haley Beal will pass back to Dewyer. Rogers up ahead. Right to McCree. Burkett runs it down, up ahead. Lyon and Gorski. Lyon with a clear shot and saved by Demert. Nice save from the Rose Hulman goalkeeper. Lyon with a clear, had a good look at the net. Good defense also by Gorski. Foul called against Kaylee Hall. Free kick coming up for Rose. Approaching 30 minutes remaining in the second half. Rogers pass up ahead to Shoemaker. Out of bounds, throw in for Earlham coming up. Substitution, number 3, Jenna Hay, in for number 13, Yuli Spade. Bounces out of bounds near the midfield line, throwing for Rose coming up. Stays in bounds, ran down by Wells. In the 18, Wells pass to Lawrence. Kicked out by Jenna Hay. Nice defensive stand from the Quakers. Defense has been doing a real good job today. Picked up by Mel Johnson. Another defensive stand for the Quakers. 28.5 minutes remaining in this second half. Foul against the Quakers. Free kick coming up for Rose. Sheeran's pass off of McCollum Smith. Foul once again against the Quakers. Another free kick for Rose coming up. Free kick from Rogers. Off the head of Beal. And the goal from Rose Hulman. Off of the bounce off the Quaker defenders. Number 6, Wells, gets the goal for Rose Hulman. Rose Hulman gets on the board after the free kick from Rogers. Ball fell in the 18. There's a lot of bodies around the ball, and it bounced perfect roll to Rose Hulman, and they got a free shot off. So with 27:44, Rose Hulman takes the lead 1-0. I think it was her. East dribbling it up for Rose Hulman. Outside the 18, Lawrence ends up slipping and falling, and Haley Beal comes away with possession. Now urgency turns towards the Quakers, now trailing in this game, and they got to find some way to now put more pressure on the Rose Hulman defense to get on the board. Out of bounds, throwing for Rose. Now a throw in for the Quakers coming up. Substitution, number 12, Yana Miller will check in for number 26, Eva Lyon. Blackburn has it kicked away from her by Hobson. She still has possession. Back to Welsh. Throwing for the Quakers. "26 minutes remaining in the second half. Earlham now trailing 1-0. Sheeran with possession for the Engineers. Deflected off of Jenna Hay. Jaworski. Back to Hobson. McCollum Smith at the midfield line. Will pass it up ahead. Wells now dribbling for Rose. Up ahead was looking for Shoemaker. Mel Johnson runs out and grabs it for the Quakers. Ball on the Rose Holman side of the field. Burkett will kick it out of bounds, and the throw in for the Engineers coming up. Again, at the conclusion of this game, after a brief warm-up, our men's team will be taking on the Engineers as well for the second game of the doubleheader. Homecoming weekend for the Quakers. Alumni all over the place. Yana Miller back to Cunningham. Raven McCree back to Welsh. Substitution for the Quakers. Grace Manning in for Nicole Burkett. In for Rose Holman, number 8. Maddie Tweeten for Lawrence. McCollum Smith will pass back to Gworski. Mel Johnson makes the grab for the Quakers. Cunningham is passed, cut off by Sheeran. Dewey will run it down. Dewey still with possession. Up ahead to Blackburn. But Blackburn cut off by Gaworski, and Rogers will kick it out of bounds. A throw in for the Quakers near the corner. Throw in off of Miller. McCollum Smith passes up ahead to Tweeten, but Haley Beal there as it rolled by Tweeten. Dewey will pass it up ahead off the head of Shoemaker. So the Quakers are going to have to find some kind of way to get some shots off at Demert. Right now, Rose Holman doing a good job of keeping the Quakers away from having the opportunity to shoot. Substitution for Rose, number 27, McCollum Smith, will come out. And number 10, Jillian Caffrey. Kaylee Hall's kick off of Wells. Handball called on Wells. .21:50 remaining in the second half. Kowarski's pass right to Haley Beal. Up to Yana Miller. Yana Miller kicked away by Sheeran. Up ahead, Wells with some room, approaching the 18. Wells dribbling, trying to get by McCree. Has the shot. Wells' shot is deflected off of Johnson and out of bounds. Nice save from Johnson. Corner kick coming up for Rose as it did go out of bounds. Corner kick by Shoemaker. And her corner kick stays out of bounds and goes behind the goal, so a goal kick coming up for the Quakers. Don't think that was the corner kick Shoemaker would have liked to have. Whistle on the play call going against Rose. Free kick coming up for the Quakers. Another foul going against Rose Hulman. Free kick for Kaylee Hall. Jennifer Dewey runs it down, up ahead to Cunningham. Dewey's pass deflected off of Hobson, out of bounds. So a corner kick coming up for the Quakers. Corner kick coming up. Jenna Hay will have the corner kick. Off the head of Sheeran. Right out to Shoemaker, and Shoemaker will kick it away from the 18. Off the head of number... Offsides call on number 8, Tweeton. She does not agree with the call. And in the game for her first minutes of action is number 28, Katrina Augustine. Demert comes in and makes the grab for Rose Holman. She'll throw it out. Augustine up to Tweeton. Cunningham trying to find Jenna Hay, but it rolls to Rogers. Rogers dribbling up ahead to Tweeton. Tweeton out to Shoemaker, and will pass back to Gaworski. Up ahead, Wells trying to run it down, and she does, deep into the corner. Kaylee Hall in front of her. Wells pass off of Sheeran. Sheeran back out to Tweeton. Tweeton pass to Augustin off of Johnson. And a hell of a save by Mel Johnson. She is working back at that goalkeeper position. She prevents Rose Holman from going up 2-0. You got to hand it to her. She's been putting in a hell of an effort at goalkeeper. So still a 1-0 game, 16:40 remaining in the second half. Kaylee Hall passes up ahead to Grace Manning. Out of bounds off the Quakers. A throw in for Rose Holman coming up. Throw in for Earlham coming up. Off of Sheeran. Bounces in the midfield circle. Ran down by Jenna Hay, and we'll pass it off to Dewyer. Dewyer up to Blackburn. Back to Rogers. Goes out of bounds. Throw in for the Quakers. Dewyer kicks it up ahead. Goes out of bounds. Rose Holman will have the throw in. Gaworski trying to pass to Sheeran. Goes a little far for Sheeran. And the Quakers now kicked up ahead by Kaylee Hall. Only one there is Hobson for Rose. 15 minutes remaining in the second half. And Earlham, normally their weakness is not being able to make a lot of the shots that they take. But in today's matchup, they haven't been able to get a lot of shots up. Taking a look at the live stats, Earlham only has 3 shots in today's game compared to Rose Holman's 21. Rose Holman with 12 shots on goal, Earlham with only 2. Mel Johnson with 11 saves in the game so far. Free kick for Kaylee Hall off the foul of Rose Holman. Haley Beal will pass it back off of McCree. McCree will kick it away, but right to Shoemaker. Shoemaker up ahead for Wells. Wells with a good look. The shot from Wells. Another save by Mel Johnson. Mel Johnson is just working back there. That is Mel Johnson's 12th save of the game. And some of the saves for Johnson have been one-on-one looks by Rose Holman. Goal kick coming up for Mel Johnson. As I mentioned, that is the 12th save for Mel Johnson in this game. And she has had some incredible saves. Ball kicked out of bounds off of the Quakers. Corner kick coming up for Rose. Looking at update of the ACAC play. Right now with 41 minutes in the second half, Mount St. Joe still leads Manchester 4-0. Transylvania leads Defiance 3-0, and Hanover still leads Bluffton 1-0. Out of bounds, goal kick from Mel Johnson coming up. Johnson's goal kick off the head of Sheeran. In for the Quakers, number 21, Emma Jones. Aaron Welsh in a possession battle with number 11, Alexis Juarez. Kicked out of bounds by Raven McCree. Throw in coming up for Rose. Right to Wells. Back to East. And her shot is scooped up by Mel Johnson. Far kick from Johnson bounces deep into Rose Holman territory. Jenna Hay now dribbling for the Quakers, trying to find Miller, but kicked out by Rogers. Sharon trying to get by Cunningham. Cunningham back to Emma Jones, but off of Tweeton. Tweeton dribbling, one-on-one. Tweeton will have the shot, and her shot ends up going into the goal for Rose. That is the second goal for Rose Holman, and now they lead 2-0 with 10:43 remaining in the second half. Tweeton, ball bounced off of Jones, and when she tried to pass it, it bounced off of Tweeton. One-on-one with Mel Johnson, and Tweeton was able to find the upper left-hand corner, and Mel Johnson didn't have much of a shot on that shot. So now Earlham trails 2-0, and the second half continues to haunt Earlham. As multiple games this season, they have gone into the second half tied, and but the opponents end up scoring and taking the game in the second half. Haley Beal back to Emma Jones. Nicole Burkett will pass back to Cunningham. Cunningham over to Kaylee Hall. Dewey gets tripped by Gaworski. Foul going against the Engineers. Tess Cunningham will have the free kick for the Quakers. Cunningham's kick sails over the goal, out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for the Quakers. So substitutions for Rose as number 4, Marissa Mufich coming in for Wells. Rogers coming out, also Hobson. Number 16, Mary Helen Shamba, seeing her first action in today's matchup. And also coming in for Rose is number 13, Ogden. 9 minutes remaining in the second half. Again, at the conclusion of this match, our men's team will be taking on Rose as well. Ogden back to Gaworski. Out of bounds, off of Rose, throw in for the Quakers. Substitution for the Quakers, number 19, Sam Sandrowski coming in for Tess Cunningham. Kicked out by Shambra. Now dribbling for Rose, Juarez. Juarez passing up ahead, looking for Mufich. Kicked out by Sandrowski, but right to Kristen East. Throw in for the Quakers. Goes out of bounds. This time a throw in for Rose coming up. Foul against Rose, so a free kick coming up for Earlham. Off the head of Jenna Hay, right to Shamba. Sandrowski up ahead, over the head of Dewey, right to Gaworski. Caffrey up ahead to Mufich. Tweeden trying to find Ogden, but Kaylee Hall there for Earlham defense. 6:20 remaining in this second half. Mufich will pass it back to Shamba. Now Rose is just controlling possession and running out the clock. Aaron Wells trying to find Burkett, but it falls right to number 15, Turner. Mufich up to Ogden, just outside of the Earlham 18. Ogden passes back to Lawrence. Ball will sail out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for the Quakers. Mel Johnson will have the goal kick. Mufich passes up looking for Lawrence, trying to be ran down by Ogden. Ogden's pass to Tweeton. Saved by Lawrence, out to Ogden. It's still on the 18, off of Mufich, and it goes over the net, and a goal kick coming up for the Quakers. Actually, the referee says it goes off of Earlham, so a corner kick coming up for Hulman. Number 10, Jillian Caffrey will have the corner kick. Out of bounds off the Quakers, another corner kick coming up. Substitution for each team. Emma Bissard will check in for Jenna Hay. Lawrence will come out of the game for Rose for number 14, Rachel Enrici. So another corner kick coming up for Rose after the substitutions. Pile up in the 18. Bodies falling. Ball was still loose. Gorski up to Ogden. Kicked out by McCree. But falls right in front of Tweeton. And now Nicole Burkett with possession, and she will kick it far up ahead off the head of Turner. So Rose Holman now just controlling possession and just running down the clock. 3 minutes remaining in the second half. And if Rose Holman holds on, they will improve to 4-0-1 in the ACAC. And Earlham will drop to 0-5. Kaylee Hall dribbling. And her pass actually goes off the referee. Pass up ahead by Juarez, right to McCree. We're approaching 2 minutes remaining in the game. Header off of Shamba. Goes out of bounds. A throw in for the Quakers. Substitution for the Quakers as Grace Manning comes in for Yulie Spade. Looks like Yulie Spade was grabbing her back. She'll get checked out by the athletic trainers. Throw in by the Quakers. Aaron Wells trying to find Grace Manning. Mufich trying to find Ogden, but Kaylee Hall there for the Quakers. to Grace Manning. Manning gets by Caffrey. Looked like a handball, but no whistle on the play. Inside the 18, the shot from Beal sails or just stays far right and goes out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for Rose. 1:15 remaining in the game. Off the head of Mufich. Chased down by Emma Jones, and she'll kick it out of bounds. Throw in for Rose coming up. We are under a minute remaining in this second half. Again, Rose will improve to 4-0-1 in the ACAC and 9-4-1 overall. Still in first place. Earlham will drop to 7-7 and 0-5 in the ACAC play. Off the head of Jones. Jones and Ogden in a foot race. Kicked out by Jones. And 10 seconds remaining, so after the throw-in, it should run out the clock.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Kicked out of bounds, and that will do it. That is the game. Rose Hulman takes it 2-0 over the Quakers. Again, improves to 9-4-1. 4-0-1 in conference play. Earlham drops to 7-7, 0-5 in the ACAC play. Again, in about 45 minutes, the kickoff between the men's Quakers team and Rose Hulman will start. We will have that game brought to you here too by Radio Troy. We're going to end this game. Next home game for Earlham will be Wednesday when they take on Anderson. That game will start at 3:30. And then they'll be on the road next Saturday at Franklin. So, again, that's going to do it for this broadcast. This has been Radio Troy here. Rose Hulman takes it 2-0 on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. And we will be back in about 45 minutes for the start of the men's game. Have a good one.